Mhm. So I want to check in with Teresa real quick. How you doing over there, girl?
I'm good. I'm just been trying to get everything into perspective today. Mm, Been a cold but pretty day. It's been a gorgeous morning. I've
Yeah,
been outside about 3 times, just taking it in, loving it, breathing that fresh, cool air.
that's good. That's good. So I know you guys are all excited. Peter, you want to say hi before I get started?
Hello. Just got a mouthful of sandwich. Good to hear everybody. And Bigfoot, you sound in real good spirits. That's wonderful to hear. And it's good to hear that Andrew I'm sure he'll continue.
You're muffled, babe, but we hear you. I think we hear you. Okay, there he goes. So I know you guys all must be excited about the pictures. Um, I know I have, and honestly, I'm glad. I am glad that I rescheduled this for today because I wasn't thinking about the fact that I'm an empath, right? So with each one of them, I felt an impact, really. I mean, each one of them it had just a big impact. And so, one of the things I want you all to do while, as we begin and you're listening, think of the square that stands out to you most. Okay. The one that stands out to you the most. And think of the one that was the biggest challenge, those two squares. So when I get to you, I'll ask you, which one was your biggest challenge and which one really stands out to you? Like, which one do you really feel connected to the most out of them? Um, oh God, did I send these over to myself? I hope I did. I don't know if I did. Mm, Jeez, I hope I did. Oh crap. Let me think. Maybe I can get them from here, actually. Oh, for the love of, come on. Okay, let's open this. Hmm. Yeah. All right. Think, I think I have it here. Okay, I do. I have it. Sorry about that, guys. All right, so I kind of had to come out with a simple little cipher type of thing. This is not, well, anyway, I know what this is. But I came out with a few different ones because this little exercise here that Spirit gave me goes quite deep. So when you look at your drawings, right, I want you to, let's see here. I'm going to share my screen. Actually, we're going to pull some of these up. We'll start here with, who is this? Okay, we'll start here with Iris. Where am I? We're going to share this screen. Okay. So when you look at your pictures, look at the top of it, right? The top is going to be your north. The bottom is going to be your south. The left is going to be your west. And the right is going to be east. And then your corners are going to be like northwest, northeast, southwest, and southeast. And this is where I even feel a little bit crazy. Okay. Because I believe it was in the last Zoom that we did, something happened that Spirit started answering some of my own questions. And the questions that I've been having have been about direction. The Spirit has really been bringing up direction a lot with me over, I would say, the past month. And so it was in the last Zoom that I started really getting hit with this directional thing. And then when I finally got to the point where I understood what they wanted me to do with the paper, I didn't really understand why. They kind of took me step by step, and then they revealed that this is like a compass, right? It's like a map. It gives it describes the directions in our life. And so we have north, south, east, and west. These are also elements, right? So let me get back over here to my cipher. So for north, we have the element of air. For east, we have fire. West is water, and south is earth. That's pretty self-explanatory. So we'll start there because it goes into chakras and planets and all kinds of things. And I thought, good God, we can't really dump all of this on an individual all at once, because even for me, getting it straight took some time, really. And then applying it to the pictures, right? Because empathically, I can pick up on these symbols, right? Or intuitionally, they speak to me. But this is an exercise that it's like spirit has given to where you can use this more than once. You can do this exercise more than once, right? Like if you find yourself having questions or being confused or needing just simple answers or signs, symbols, synchronicities type of things, this is a really good exercise. But for this, for the beginning, this is like a general overview, right? There was no particular question needed, no particular answer or, question that, that was needed or used, right? None of you really knew, including me, knew what these squares were going to end up turning out to be. So to do this as quickly as I can, I'm just going to focus on the directions, right? And a couple of the squares for the purpose of this Zoom. And I will give you all the keys, right? The simple and then the more detailed version in stages. So after today's meeting, I'll give you the simple key. That way it's something that you can look at, you can reflect on, and you can kind of allow yourself to feel into on your own, right? And then I think the next Zoom we have, I'll whether we cover them during the Zoom or not, I'll present the complex version just to give you guys some time to kind of integrate what the spirit is actually saying to you, because they go very deep. I mean, I could probably write a book on each one of these pictures. Just it's incredible the meaning that's been behind them. And for me, when I went over my own, I personally had a couple of aha moments, right? Where I really did feel that direction coming through, that guidance from spirit. So that's why I say it's just one of those things where it takes a little time for those who are really interested in it to kind of reflect on it, integrate it. I mean, this is you. I didn't draw these pictures, right? You drew these pictures. They may have felt random, but they're not. Okay. So with Iris, which one of your pictures was the biggest challenge? You have to unmute yourself, hon. Gotcha.
Oh, thank you. Sorry. South.
South. And which one calls to you the most?
I'd say which one calls to me the most would be either the middle or east.
The ring.
Oh, wait, that's east. I'm sorry, west.
West. Okay. All right. So I know I already talked to you about yours when you sent it in, but for the sake of this example, right? Let me get in here and get some notes because I had to make notes too. Oh my goodness. You guys, this was big. Let me get up here to Iris. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Sorry, I got to scroll. Okay, so we have west was the one that draws your attention the most, and south was the more difficult one, right? The biggest challenge.
Yeah.
That's our bottom row, and it is the south. So if we look at that picture, right, and we take into account the direction of the south and it being earth, okay? South, let's see here. Am I on the right one? I am. Oh, crap. Some things scroll and some things don't. Okay, so we have, okay. South, that what we place at the south, the southern square represents what we have embodied, right? In that earthly form, okay? Because that is earth. So it is representative of those things that are manifest here in the earth, okay? And on your picture, you have really some flow. But if looking at this, right, to me, this was my perception of it. You have this guy or this person who appears to really be carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders or on her shoulders, right? And I don't feel that I'm saying his or he by mistake. I feel that this is really representing that masculine part of us, okay? Because it is the masculine, the divine masculine through us that brings things into this earthly realm, that takes actions on things, right? That builds, right? And at the center, it's almost like there's a crack. It's almost like cracking under the weight of everything that is being carried. Now, at the top, there is this vibration, there's this symbol, this figure. When I first saw it, it really struck me in a couple of ways. One, it looked like 555, which is a huge transformation. That is big, big change. But before it became transformative, it may have looked almost like railroad stakes, right? Those big nails they put through the railroad ties. But something came along, a vibration, a higher vibration, right? A higher resonance or a higher frequency that really bent those railroad ties. And that's where we get the five, or I get the 555. That's that transformative moment. So when each of you are thinking about that southern square, right? And you're thinking about that picture and how it represents that which you have experienced in the earthly realm, know that these bottom three squares in some way represent things that you have already overcome. Okay. So the fact that it's in the earth, right, says this was the experience. This was the change in that experience, right? Now, I can see why that would be the most challenging because, I mean, It represents challenge. It represents those struggles. It can represent that part of our life. Oh, let me see. Who am I gotta admit here? I think it might be Pamela. Hold on. Let's see. Did I get her in here? I did. Hi, Pamela.
Hi, Via. Thank you.
So looking at that bottom square, you know, it's really that part of our life or our experience or our journey that and sometimes requires a lot of perseverance, right? It can be those times, those things that have us feeling like we just want to give up, right? But you didn't. You might have felt like you were cracking under the weight of it all, but there was a resonance, a vibration, something that came in and changed it. And so when we go over to the west, let me look at my notes because I did have to take notes. This is water. This is our emotions. This is yeah, this would be that part that we are integrating. This second row of those three squares is kind of like our present moment, right? It's like we're pulling down from the top squares, which is that heavenly or that spiritual or what is in the ethers, right? We're pulling it down and we're pulling up that experience that we've had in the earthly realm. And in the West is where we integrate that, right? Into our lives, this new knowledge, this new perception of what we experienced in the South is now coming in and being integrated into our experience as the North is also coming in and being integrated into our experience. Okay. So for the West, let me see what I made notes here for you, girl. So we have south, bottom. Yeah. So that's water. That's our emotions. That is soul memory, right? It is that there's something about this experience in the West that triggers a memory from the soul. Okay. So it's not really, say, manifesting right now because it's like it's being preserved. This is a place of preservation. It's a place where we begin to really honor those emotions, those waters in this life, right? So a lot of times when it comes into the West, it can be an experience that we feel needs to be protected. Like we're starting to learn, right? The difference between sacrifice and sacred here in this square. And this is what we are holding honor for in our lives. All right. Does that make sense, Iris?
Yeah.
Okay. So one of the affirmations that I wrote down a note for you on this is you could say something like, what I carry is precious and I choose when to open it, when to bring it out into the light. Okay. Now, one of the interesting things about this is this center square here. This is the sun. This is that center point. This is us standing in the sun. This is like identity in a lot of ways. And what this says to me is that this person is ready to bring this in, and they don't care who likes it and who doesn't. Right? They're ready to integrate this into part of their identity, even if it changes everything they know. Does that make sense? Okay.
Yeah, let me
Go ahead.
ask you. The affirmation is what I hold is precious and I choose when to open it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So overall, really, this picture is showing that there is, it's like a benevolence, right? There's a compassion for self in this, right? And you have on the right this ring. This is the east, okay? And well, let's see. Let me get down here to the east. Okay, this is our fire. And so you have a gold ring with a diamond, and it's surrounded by like little blue lights, right? And what this shows is that you're committed. You have consciously committed to this already. Like you have already chosen it. And it's not something that you're being impulsive about, right? Because the diamonds are clear, they're clarity, and they're high value, right? I mean, you go try to buy a diamond today, and we all know they're not rare, whatever, but you know what I'm saying. Those diamonds, those clear quartz crystals, they bring clarity and they bring value. All right. And with the little white or the little blue dots, that could be seen almost like waves in a way, right? But at the same time, it's like whatever the passion is, whatever the fire is or has been around this commitment, it's almost been tempered with the emotions and probably a higher emotional awareness, right? So it's not like you're just acting on something because it's a great idea or because somebody else is doing it or told you to. You've really reflected on this. And that's important. That's really important to recognize the process that you have gone through to bring this about. And this is your soul saying, yes, Iris, you are ready to fill in that blank. You are ready to take action on this. You are already open. If you notice that bottom right corner is left blank. I'm here, whatever may come, like it or not, this is who I am. And I am committed to me. Does it make sense?
My soul said I do.
You said I do. Yes, your soul said I do. Yes. Your soul has said I do. Yes. You have been following your soul's guidance. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm not going to go over every square on every picture because they do take time, but I will give out these little ciphers that I created. And anyone that needs help, right? You guys know I'm here to help you out with any questions that you might have, or if you get stuck because I know sometimes it is so easy as an empath to pick up on what others are feeling. But then when we try to pick up on what we are feeling, right, what we are reflecting on, we can get a little stuck and need a little, motivation. And sometimes that takes just a couple of words. It doesn't take much to get us in gear and clicking, right? So I want to thank you for bringing this forward. It's really beautiful. I'm going to tell you, I feel very drawn to every single one of these pictures. Like I could go on and on and on. I could do, like I said, I could write a book about every single one of them. So, just remember, if you have any questions or you want my intuitional perspective or my empathic perspective, just reach out to me, right? But for the sake of this Zoom and trying to keep it to 2 hours, I'm going to move through them pretty quickly. But do you have any questions, Iris?
So you're just kind of, as far as for everybody, giving this overview of, okay, so this is our south, this is our west, this is our east, and this is our north.
Mm-hmm.
And
Along with the elements, air, earth, water, and fire.
so earth is south, air
Yeah.
is north, fire is east, and
west
water.
is water.
Okay.
Yeah. Remember,
And then,
south under your feet in the ground, right? North is in the air, right? And then west, W, water, and east is fire.
okay. And you're saying that the bottom three are more of the things that have already been, and then I guess the middle would be more like the present integration.
Yes. And then the top would be what is really in the ether. Okay. I'll give you guys a cipher. I'm going to drop them to you kind of one at a time so you can integrate each level at your own pace. Okay. Because I'm still going over my own picture. Like, I'm still
I've looked at mine 3 times, and each time it says something different. So
really, what has it said to you?
that okay, so there was one where it was framed to me that I'm leaving space for the future, and so that's the open space. Is that
Yes.
okay? So this has been the journey, and one of them was more like, okay, well, this is pointing towards more of stability in like your heart journey, like your path, you're finding stability there.
Yes.
And yeah, so it, and then I'll look at it again and I don't remember it. I don't remember what it told me before, but then I will get something else like
Definitely take notes. When you're going over your pictures, definitely take notes, because a lot of those first thoughts, right? That's your intuition, that's your gut instinct. Follow that. Like what you've already interpreted from your pictures, that's you. That is purely you. That is authentic Iris, right? Above and beyond what I say or what I describe to any of you, always go with what you're feeling from your soul, yourself first, right? So if we think about the center, you're right. You're absolutely spot on. That is not only the sun, it is not only our identity, but it is in the position of the heart chakra. And that is one of the layers in this picture, is that is actually your heart chakra. So yes, you were spot on with that. already.
I've noticed that oddly, you know, I have always not been the kind of person like the kind of person I have tried to be is one who's the opposite of flipping somebody off. Like,
Right.
let me take care and let me be appropriate and let me, you know, like I don't want to offend anybody, but there's some transition that's taking place where I get a weird sense of joy from just flipping the bird. Like I've even made videos. I know it probably sounds really weird, but just made videos of me just flipping whoever off. I don't know. I'm not even flipping
Right.
anybody off. I'm just flipping the bird. Like, haha, you know, like I finally can do this.
Well,
Like I've never been able to do that before.
I think that's really important. I think you're bringing up an important part or an important point. You know, there comes a time where we really learn the difference between judgment and discernment, right? And we are empathic, we are compassionate, and we don't intend to hurt anyone else. But we come to this point that it's like, by God, I'm also not going to shrink myself. I'm also not going to keep myself in this cage. And how do I step forward and show people that this is who I am, and also put the signal out there that I don't need your validation? Right? You don't need validation, and you know that. And at the same time, it's not like you're out here intentionally setting things on fire. You know, you're not out here just flipping people off to be flipping them off. It's a signal that I now know who I am. And I'm not going to keep that me in a box under the weight and the pressure of this earthly experience. You've carried a lot. You've carried so much. It felt like cracking in the heart, in the solar plexus. It was a very difficult experience, a very challenging time, very disempowering, really. And you've risen above that. You drew down that higher power. It's right under your heart. You tapped into the love, and I wouldn't doubt it if it wasn't that loving vibration that bent those nails and turned them into 555 transformation. Here I am. I think it's beautiful. It really is.
Thanks. That
Thank you.
brings tears.
Oh, I love you. I love all you guys. All right, so I'm gonna see who wants to go next. I was gonna try to get them in an order, but who wants to go next? I know I've already done Peter and Teresa, so mainly talking to Paula, Bigfoot, and Pamela now. Who wants to be the next guinea
I'll go
pig?
next.
Okay, let me grab your picture here. I'm going into our into our
Look like you zoomed in on the middle finger.
I know. All right, Paula. Let me get to my notes. I know I took quite a few notes on you. All right. You guys all see that picture, right? You see Paula's picture?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
great. Okay, let's see if we can get down here to Paula. Mhm. Okay, so I have you here. Okay. Let me go over here. Let's see. Paula, which was your most challenging? Your most challenging of these three, or of these pictures?
Um,
It's beautiful, by the way. I love this art.
I would have to say, um, the broken up tree with the heart.
Okay. And which one calls to you the most?
The elephant.
I know that. I know. We get to know each other so well in this space. It's awesome. So your east was your most challenging, and your west is the one that calls to you most. Let's go. Oops. Let's go here. East. And then west. Okay. Okay. So in the east, sorry guys, I have to keep checking my notes. All right. This eastern square, right? East with fire. Okay. This is also Mars. It's also our Earth star, right? It is that that light that we ground and anchor into this earthly experience. Okay. It can often be an initiation. It can often be what we act on. All right. And it can represent new beginnings. So if you think about the sun rising in the east, right? Let me think here. This is where we can feel restless. And I think that the fact that you said, like the tree that was broken, right? And you put this heart on it. I think that's beautiful, because in the East, a lot of times that is where we can feel anxious, or we can even slip into worry or doubt, right? And in this representation here, you took what was barren, or what may have felt broken or unfruitful, and you covered it in love and grew life around it. And the fact that you have a tree on your earth star, this is grounded, this is anchored light, this is a higher emotional wisdom. And it's not sharp and jagged, right? It kind of has a flow to it. So it's like having taken this earthly experience of transformation, of purification, of shedding what was no longer serving oneself, You've brought it into the heart, which is a very open space, by the way. I love this. It's welcoming, it's inviting, it's open. It's a happy home. It's not sharp and jagged, which tells me there's not a lot of judgment, right? There's not a lot of criticism of your own heart here. And in doing that, you've been able to cover that tree with that heart's love and grow new life around it. Even the land, right? It's gentle, it's rolling. This whole image is soft. Now, the West here, this is also our soul star. This is ancient memory returning to the heart. Notice the elephant is going toward the heart, toward the home, toward that place of our identity, right? And it's being anchored, right? And this is also taking that love, that life from Gaia, from Mother Earth in this experience and bringing it into the heart. And I find it interesting that here in the Southeast, we have what looks like a dog, right? This is loyalty. This is acting on friendships, on relationships that are true, they're honest, they're loyal, and it's with the compassionate and ancient memory from your soul. Does this make sense, Paula?
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, there's quite a bit here. I mean, I could go on, and I probably will, because I know you're one that I didn't get to. Hold on, just.
I left for a minute and I couldn't get back.
You didn't leave. You're still there. I think you are.
Wouldn't come up.
Okay, sorry guys, I gotta help Peter get back in. Oh, you probably couldn't get in because I didn't see you were trying to get back in. And so I didn't.
In progress.
Ooh. I will reach out to you, Paula, and go over this some with you. It's really a very beautiful picture. And one of the notes here that I wrote was, and it's like, I guess you could use it as like a motto, right? Is that I live from my heart by creating spaces of belonging. So it's like you have this natural ability to create these sacred spaces, these inviting, healing spaces, right? Your heart, it's like beaming with that sacred wisdom from above. And this can really be a very inviting energy, and not just to those who are honorable, right? A lot of times when we have spaces like this that are so inviting and so open, it's like that moth to the flame, right? And some kind of come in and they crash and burn. Some transform. So it's giving me a very we all go through transformations. We go through multiple transformations. But what I'm feeling here is that the love that you have found and the sacred space that you have brought into this existence is also transforming for those who enter it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. You have any questions?
Could you repeat that affirmation
Okay,
again,
let me see.
please?
I wrote, I live from my heart by creating spaces of belonging. And you do that very well. You do that actually by, you have a very nurturing spirit. This is a very, it's like nurturing, right? It, even the transformation here, you may have even found that one special friend or that one special relationship that either helped you transform or was sort of the one that you could kind of lean on through it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I love that you still portray this in the earth, right? It's like you have learned not to fear that transformation. You've really, when you, in whatever ways you go through transformation, you go deep. You find that elephant in the room, right? You learn to embrace that elephant in the room because you know that is your divine wisdom. It's bringing down those ancient memories. It's really very beautiful. And you still have a beautiful, this is like you coming out of the cocoon here. It's beautiful. Really is. I love the spirals. I love the colorings. I love that you have this little here on your house, right? That's beautiful. Really good. Any other questions, Paula?
No, thank you so much. I just like, when I did it, I didn't look at it, all the symbology,
Mm.
and you've just brought it to surface. So really can see so much more in this than I did.
I think you're really going to have fun with this exercise in your free time. When I get these ciphers out to you, they're on my other computer, or I would pull them up now. But when I drop them out to the group, I think you're going to be one that really enjoys looking at the symbology of these things because you do go deep. I mean, that tree, the elephant, the snake, the fire, I mean, it's deep. There's a lot of depth to you, Paula, and I think that a lot of people have probably underestimated you. But I think at this time, you're coming out of your cocoon.
Thank you.
Yeah. I love you, girl.
I love you.
So who wants to be next, Bigfoot or Pamela?
Since I was last hopping in here,
Mhm.
I defer to Bigfoot because he's been, you know,
Okay, that's fair.
yeah.
I've called on you first for quite some
Oh,
time.
yeah, no. I just so we're not just sitting there waiting for someone to speak out. Yeah, I mean, definitely go for it, James. So
All right, Bigfoot, you're up. Um, what was your most challenging square?
Um, oh, did I unmute myself? I can't tell.
Yes, you did. I hear you.
Okay. It would have been the I think it would have been the northeast one that was the one that was just kind of all kind of like that light green.
Yes.
I was I was kind of indecisive about what to put there, and it didn't really come out the way I wanted it to. It's supposed to be moss, but that was my most difficult one.
All right. And which one calls to you the most?
The north one.
The north one. Okay. Nice. Let me look up real quick. I was close. I looked at it as grass. But I just want to look real quick at moss, because now I'm getting moss agate is coming to me. Okay. Oh wow, this is so weird. It literally came up with moss agate as a stone. I just Googled it. I didn't know. Green moss. I hadn't thought about it, but it is abundance and prosperity. Green moss. It is that connection to the earth, to Mother Earth. It represents resilience, stability, and gentle, persistent nurturing. And that's interesting because let me get into my notes here for you. Let's see if I can find. Now that would be, let's see. I gotta find a better way of taking pictures. So one of my maps notes here. That is the Northeast. Okay. All right. So growth and renewal, abundance and prosperity, resilience and protection, it's healing, it's nurturing, but I feel very much the protection too in this, because one of my notes was that it's like this is a place, your Northeast, right? This is air and fire. Air is what? It is our thoughts. It is the words that we speak, right? It is that truth that we know. Fire, it is that transformative energy, right? It purifies. And so for me in this place, it can almost feel very protected, very almost restrained, right? To someone who doesn't know. But I feel that it's not really like a restraint out of fear. This is an emotional processing that happens before you speak. It's like choosing your words wisely. It's being grounded, right, in honesty. and growth, because now we have something growing from that. We have that moss. We have something that is the color of life, right? It's also that heart connection. So it tells me that it's like those people who, you're a man of few words, Bigfoot, but when you speak, it carries meaning. When you speak, if people don't listen, they should. That's what I get from that. Because there's so much purification that is going on. And the yellow and the green together, this is confidence. This is life. This is connection from that sun right in the center, that part of us that identifies with abundance, with confidence, with a knowing. You don't have to speak just to be speaking. If you've ever met those people that they'll just talk to be talking, it's like they just want to hear their own voice, right? Because maybe no one's ever heard them before. No one's ever listened to them before, right? So they talk and they talk and they talk. Because if nobody's going to listen to them, by God, they're going to hear themselves talk. You are not that person. But when you do speak, it carries deep meaning. And that is probably why that square is so was challenging, because this is not an awareness. It is not just an emotional awareness. This is something that has been purified with that higher gnosis, right? Because now we're in the ethers, we're in that top row. And so a lot of times that process and the things that we know about what we feel, it can be difficult to bring into words, right? To find the words to describe what I know, to find the words to describe what I feel. It's like that moment of purification is that moment of holding back. Okay, now let me process this. Let me make sure I choose my words wisely, right? I mean, look at the eye in the sky here. That's the north. That's your air. That is the communication from the divine, your crown. Let me look here. I have to keep moving this from side to side. It's your north. This is not just air. It is also, this is what's so amazing about these pictures. You guys place these things not even knowing this. But that north square is also your third eye. It's that knowing. It's the knowing that doesn't care about feelings and facts. It just is. And now we're moving over into the Northeast, where it's like, how do I bring this gnosis right into this physical existence? Does that make sense, Bigfoot?
Yeah, it's making sense. It's making a lot of sense. Like it really is.
Let me look here too, because you put the sun in the place of the sun. You put your eye in the sky in the place of the third eye. You're highly intuitive. And not only are you highly intuitive, but you just naturally go with it. Like if you've ever doubted acting on your instincts, or whether you should, or whether you should act on what you are receiving, right? That higher knowledge, that higher understanding, that higher wisdom that comes in, right? If you ever doubted whether or not you should act on that, this is your soul coming through loud and clear. Like, you already go with it. Every action that you've taken, every word that you've spoken, every picture that you have drawn, right, was spot on, right on track, right on time. And I know you didn't bring it up, but that door, right, that was something that spoke to me also, that I made notes on. And that door is in the east. So let me go over here, north. East. So that's our Earth star, right? That place where we ground that which we know, we anchor that into this earth. It's also that place where we are ready to take action. Okay. And that door, in a place where it's like we're ready to take action in this space here, it's like, number one, the black is protection. It's like obsidian. Okay. Number two, you have a closed door in that space. This tells me that you are not impulsive as much as some may be, at least. And the reason I say that is because if it didn't have this little red orb, like right here, okay, if it was just a door and it was just shut and it was just solid, it would say, you know what? I'm not taking action. I'm not doing this. This orb is that higher part. Like if you look at that eye, how it comes down to this little orb in the door, right? This is your intuition. This says to me, I am not going to open this door, or I am not going to act on this until I know in my spirit, I feel it in my gut, until I am ready to act. This is not rushing through a door, and it's not barricading either, right? It's not saying I'm not going to act. It's saying I will act when it's time. And you will act when it is time. And you will know when it is time. You've already followed that knowing here and here, but like you couldn't get two more perfect pictures to describe this place of the third eye and the sun, right? So it's like, with what I know, I'm ready to act, and I will act, but it will only be when I'm ready, because you have an inner knowing and it doesn't let you down. And it's protected, meaning that what you are ready to act on, there is protection there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does, Sybil. A lot. Uh, like I do sort of feel like I have some kind of knowing. Um, you know, I don't know. It's like um,
It
I
feels
don't know.
very otherworldly. Otherworldly.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It's just kind of like there is some kind of intuition there, and I don't know, things seem to sync up sometimes, and I
Mhm.
just I don't know exactly why or how, but yeah, sometimes they seem to, and
And
yeah, I
because
don't know.
you're natural about it, you don't, I feel like if there's doubt, you don't allow it to affect how you act, right? Because in the bottom corner on the right, that's your southeast. Okay. Whatever you do, your soul, your heart, it's going to be in flow with that. When you open this door and you act and you step through it, it is going to be in flow with your soul, with your heart. That's why a lot of times into people who are intuitive, right? They don't think they're intuitive for a very long time, for many years. It doesn't seem intuitive to them because they're just living. They're living and they're acting and they're speaking and they're going through life as they are with the knowledge and the understanding that they have. And to others, this can seem very natural. To the person that's experiencing, it can often feel like, well, there's nothing special about this. But your soul is saying, oh, but there is. You're a rare individual. A lot of times, I've met so many people that they'll notice something that I do and they'll go, oh my God, I do this and I do that too. And I do that. I said, you've been doing this all your life. You just didn't know it. You just didn't know it. We kind of grow up thinking that everybody is this way, and they're not. This is someone who's not overly emotional either. You have water over here in the west. Let me get up here to the west. Yeah. Okay, so the hand, it suggests service. Okay. How do I say this? The green. All right. Let me get in here because I've got this on my, get in here. Let me get to my colors. Okay, here. So green, this is a color of life. It is a color of healing, of growth, of balance, of nature. Imbalanced, it can feel like stagnation or avoidance, right? So in that space, there may have been times where we felt like things were not growing as quickly as we would like them to. But a hand suggests here that it's like those who reach their hand out to help others. Okay. That it brings a sense of purpose, almost a sense of joy. Like if you can reach your hand out and help someone, this is healing to you. It's compassion. It gives you a sense of remembering who you are by how you help others in whatever way that is. And a lot of people say, well, I don't really help anyone. Who do I help? The best way to answer that question is by not looking at how others help others, right? By not comparing how we help one to how someone else, because you are so unique and you are so much in the flow. And that coming from your soul star, right? This is water, this is memory, it's emotion. That soul star in the west, this is Neptune. Neptune is deep. It is deep. And so the way that you help others may be through that depth, right? That depth of the emotions, by staying grounded. If you look at this hand, it has form, right? It's not just an ocean rocking waves over here. There's been form that has been brought to it. It is an emotional maturity. It is someone who knows how to hold those emotions, right, within their hand and offer, right, what is needed without drowning someone with something that has no end, no borders, no form to it, right? Does that help?
Yeah, yeah, that does. Yeah, yeah, everything you're saying is like just really helping a lot. Um,
You have help. I get such an otherworldly energy from this that if you haven't seen beings, I believe that you have some very high vibrational beings that kind of help nudge and guide you along, right? I get a little chuckle right now. I'm getting like a little chuckle, like whatever it is happy. There's a happy little being of some sort around you. That's kind of like it's almost got like a silly energy.
you just made me chuckle.
Yeah. It's got like a silly energy because it's over here like, but it's very loving. And it's so funny because actually Peter has something like that too. He's got a little being around him. It's not as silly or like, I mean, they're all happy. Don't get me wrong. But Peter's more is like, it rides with him. It helps him keep his memory. It kind of watches the surroundings around him. Peter is a Cancer, very emotionally intuitive, very emotional creature. And sometimes he can get in the flow and be kind of like, it's like not be aware of his immediate surroundings. So his being is there to kind of give him a nudge, right? To say, hey, look over here, right? Yours is a very happy, it's like a little chuckle, it's like a little giggle. He's kind of, he has fun with you, like it is a fun energy. And he does guide you. He absolutely does. Maybe helps jog your memory the way Peter's does his, or maybe helps bring in that courage and that confidence. He may be bringing you joy to help build that confidence, right? Because sometimes when we become nervous or we have worries, or there's something big that we want to say or bring forward or act on, we can get a little shaky. But when we bring joy into it, right, that builds that confidence. So I feel like what you have with you is like a helper, like it's literally a helper in this lifetime. Yeah. You have any questions about your pictures? I'm feeling very strong vibration in my heart right now, like my heart is jumping. This little guy, he is wanting to talk. You may want to, in meditations, just call forward your little joy helper, because my whole body is going to start vibrating over here. He's so high vibrational. And I think he's realized that I'm a channel. And so from like my heart all around my ribs, you have very healing hands, he's saying, that you don't have to worry about anything, that you yourself have the power to heal. You have a very strong healing energy that comes through your heart. And I am getting comfort through your touch, is what I'm feeling. You have a very comforting way about you, Bigfoot, and I love you. I can't go any further. I'll be over here sobbing, but I love you guys. He's really coming through with a lot of joy. It's not a sad cry, believe me. Like I could sit here and laugh and cry at the same time. He's having to back off because he's realizing, holy shit, you know. But he's with you. Yeah, very strong vibration. And I think that that might be why he's here, is he's helping you awaken to the idea that you can yourself, right, send this energy through your hands, right, that you do not have to physically touch someone, but that your intention with your heart, the purity, this is clarity, this sun, this is identity, this is your true higher identity coming in and integrating into form. And so he may be here helping kind of bring awareness to the healing energy that you do hold. I hope that helps. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it helps, yeah, immensely. And you've helped me so much. And just yeah, thank you. Thank you, Sybil.
We love you guys. All right. So we have Pamela next.
Hello.
Ooh, and this one right away. Boom. Give me a moment to breathe, guys. I have to disconnect from Bigfoot's little green guy here. Gonna return your energy back to you, Bigfoot, pure and whole. Receive mine back, pure and whole. Only love remains, always. Just have to disconnect that. That was quite the punch. But that's what happens when I get these. It's every single one of these. I could burst forth through on all of them. There's so much. I could write a book on every one of these. So Pamela, how you been doing?
Doing well, yeah. I loved the exercise. I think my approach was so different than everyone else because I shut my mind off.
Yes.
I had to do it, and I literally just said and I texted you. The others don't know that I or maybe I did in the chat, but that I was in bed the day after I submitted that, and I was like, oh, I really didn't think about that whole project. I just wanted to do this stuff for so long. Just like I have so many ideas and they go nowhere. And because there's too many, there's like every time I look somewhere else, there's another creative idea. So I just had to I had to turn that off. And this was a great project for me for that alone. So I was like, wow, isn't this so cool? And I always do this. I apologize. Bigfoot, you do have that energy. I've had a physician older than you, and when I went in that room, it was it's like it was you. He was older, but you have what he had, or he has. He passed. It's old. You. I feel that what which I felt when I went into this very scary phase of whether or not I would be seeing ever again in my life. And when I walked in within his presence, I knew everything would be okay. So Sybil, man, I don't know where you pull this stuff up from, but I say you are so like bullseye, you know. So I just wanted to add that. Um,
That's good confirmation.
yeah,
That is some really big confirmation for you, Bigfoot.
and I have to say that too because,
Mm.
like, I'm like, no, but Bigfoot has to go before me, and if he didn't, that wouldn't have flowed to like right now. So that's it. So now I'll sit back, but good to see everyone.
So which was your most challenging square?
Oh, of the upper middle. And by the way, I did this because if my hand went over, it's pastel because it's a bumpy surface. So it's not even pen or pencil. And if my hand went over it, it would smudge it. So I didn't even have a reason except for the middle. I started with the middle. I like, I started with the middle. The middle was my only, I'm going to start here. The other stuff was like, well, I got to work from upper left around because I'll be smudging. So I don't even know if anything that you say really is is
I
wasn't.
love pastels.
I do. I've been working in them now, and I just happened to like. I couldn't. I didn't need another project with. I just like I said I don't care. I'll use these. So, but I would say the middle, the upper middle, um,
That's the north.
was sort of the hardest one. Yeah, and then the middle one, which was my first, was my favorite because it's where I want to go right
This
now.
one here.
Yeah, and I want to do big ones, and it's from my photographs and my walks and my connection to everything I see that makes me look at it when I'm in nature. And it's a lot less object oriented. I used to always be much more like the shell and the pine
Yes.
cone. It's nature. I love the complexity of it. Um, but the upper, I don't know, but the upper one was probably because I wanted it to look like something. So I had my head in it instead of I had to work with that. My head and my passion. And I had to turn my head off and not worry. Um, but yeah, that's what I can give you as far as all that goes.
Okay. So The first thing that I noticed, well, there's a couple of things. All right. So your most challenging here was your north. But one of the first things that I noticed is that there's a lot of texture here also. There's a lot of richness, right? It's very rich. There's a lot of texture. You can feel it, right? And texture also brings depth to that. When I saw this here, for me, it reminded me of a tiger lily, right? And we all know, like, the interpretation of art is in the eye of the beholder, right? It can change with different perspectives. But for me, it was like the tiger lily. And this being in the north over here, right? Let's get back up here to my little direction here. This is that third eye area, okay? So if we think about our foresight, our knowing, it's air, it's the truth, right? It's our perception of things. It's how we orient things. It's also, and it's funny because that north square, one of the notes that I put in it is pattern recognition. And for me, you saying that it's like you found it the most challenging because it's like you were trying to make it that thing or give it that form, right? But I feel like there's some pattern recognition that you're starting to really bring into from the ethers down into this identity. Like you've recognized some sort of pattern in life, right? In the way that everything connects to one another, in the way that it shows up for you. Okay. So let me get in here and go to my notes because I want to see what note. Okay. It's like also a star-like form. I put in here as a note that, like how I was talking about the pattern, recognizing the pattern, recognizing that there's multiple views, there's multiple perceptions. How do they all connect? How do I bring them all in? So it was like holding multiple perspectives at once. It's the motto that I have written here is I see what others miss because I can hold the complex, the mysterious. It's like you see the complexity, but you also see the patterns that bring that into form. And being of a higher, like this is your ethers, right? This is your higher knowing. This is your higher knowledge coming in. How to portray that, right? How to portray all of what I see, all of what I know into one little square. Because you do see deeply. There's a depth there. And that tiger lily, that is confidence and strength. It's also prosperity and wealth. It's compassion. It's mercy. Think of a tiger, right? that lion within, that tiger within, can often either leave us feeling a need for mercy or leave others feeling a need for mercy, because this is also air. It is our words. It's not just our thoughts. Like as it comes down through the dimensions, right, into this, the fifth and the fourth and the third dimension, it becomes words. You hold a great depth, a great knowing, but I feel you could probably cut very deeply with some of those words, because you do see the complexities and the depth of it. You know right where to hit. Does that make sense?
Everything except for the how did you put it? Using words to cut or hurt. Yeah.
Right.
Like if anything, I do the opposite. I will.
Then it's you that needs the mercy.
Yeah, I will not. I will analyze and go, okay, how,
Okay.
just the opposite. And I will be the one that will
Well, that may
create the
be,
peace, kind of thing. Yeah.
that may also be right. If it's you that would need the mercy, right? And you think about that tiger, that may be part of that compassion, that wisdom, right? Where you then grant mercy. And in those energies, a lot of times, how do you say, you could be very well, like people could take advantage of you. Like, I don't want to say you allow them to take advantage of you.
I get it.
But they can really walk on you because you are so merciful, because you have needed that kind of mercy. You know what it's like to need that mercy. And so there may have been times where you granted mercy over and over and over and over again until you find that place within you that says, okay, no mercy, right? Like you may be the one that takes a lot, and it takes a lot before you're pushed to that point, because you know what it's like to need that mercy.
100%. Yep, you nailed it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's cool. You're absolutely amazing.
I love you. So yeah, you do see what others miss. You probably feel very much compassionate for those that do get torn down verbally. I could see that impacting you quite a bit in the heart. Let's see. So it was this one. Okay. And your heart was your favorite, the middle one, right? The center one.
Yes.
Okay. So
it was my first. It was more, I want to do this larger, bigger. So I just went with no thought. I went with the easy path of where I would like to go. So that's how I approached it.
Oof.
If that means anything.
Well, the first thing that I wrote down was, this heart is alive. Your heart is alive. There's a lot going on there. It's deep. It's emotional. It's an emotional truth. It's like, I can see in this picture why there are times when you try to bring something forward that it's like, to describe it in a 5-word sentence, it's like, how do I do that? Right? Because there is so much depth. This is not static, right? It's like you hold an emotional truth, like you live from your heart, right? And that was one of the other things that I had noted on there, was that I live from my heart. And you do that by allowing those feelings to move through you, really, is what I'm picking up. It's not chaos, it's an emotional intelligence. And it's like, there may be times where it's only you that really sees the intelligence behind it all, right? The wisdom behind it all, the knowing. And how do I put that into words? And you do that. And so you do it through art, right? Because it's where you can express that complexity without binding it with words, without restricting it with definitions, right? You allow it to flow in such a way that even when I look at it, I feel that flow. And it's like, okay, now Pamela is allowing me to feel this flow and come up with my own conclusions, right? Like, you're not defining it. You're not putting it in a nice little box that says, I am a box, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that does. I mean, that actually is, but that's not from my imagination. I don't do anything from my imagination except to think or create ideas, but that's from what I see, like when I like in nature. That's, but I feel
it.
feel that when I walk by something, I feel it. Like
Yes.
I feel. In that case, it was a river with the grasses, and it wasn't. I think it was that one. I have so many of them, but I feel the movement. I feel the beautiful variations of color, and like
Yes.
its color feels like it's a person, like not a person, but it's a something. It's not just a blue or a white or gray. I don't know how do you describe it. It's
you have layers of like gold and blue,
yeah,
and
and they
it's
all harm. Okay, sorry. It's like
yeah, go
harmony
ahead.
of it all. I don't know. It's like it is everything. It's everything all at once. It's light and color and movement and creation, and how does it
Yes.
get there, and how does it work, and why is it working like that? And when I don't know. There's so much to it. I
That's
don't know.
that depth, that's that complexity of that northern square, that northern picture there, where to me it looked like a tiger lily, right? Like, it just gives me that vibe, that.
Yeah.
And then now you're in the heart, right? Like, now you're dropping down those thoughts into the heart. And I can see how, if you were to put just words on here, right, it would not do what you hold in your heart justice at all. Like, it's not, it is you, what you have in you. It's not just something to be held or defined. It is a flow. And I feel like it, and if I'm not wrong, the one that you put in the Western box, when we first started meeting on Zoom, you had this little shell like thing, right? That you kept on your desk. Is that what that is?
Yeah, that is because I was like, I don't know what else to try, and I'm passionate about that.
That's your soul star. That's
Yeah,
your soul
interesting.
star. You've got it in the box of the soul star. And
Yeah.
it's ancient, right? That's like that ancient wisdom coming down into form, being integrated into form in flow with everything that you're holding in your heart, right? And then, let me see. I love these birds because this is what you're really truly ready to act on, right? So this being your North Star, it's like bringing that ancient wisdom. That's why it looks like nothing else, right? It doesn't really have a name to it. It doesn't really, but you're bringing that wisdom and that remembrance down into form, in flow with what you're feeling. And then in the East Star, right? This is where it's purified. This is where we bring in that fire. It's where we bring what we're pulling down out of the ethers, right? We're pulling down that higher consciousness, integrating it with our heart, purifying it with that fire, ready to take action on it. So it's like you've got this ancient wisdom, you've got this depth, this emotional depth to you, and this maturity. And then on the east side, you've got more of this like blue, right? It's got like a, I don't know, like light coming through, right? It's like shining light on what is being felt from what is being experienced and drawn in from the Earth Star, because this is your Earth Star and your North Star coming in to meet at your heart. And this is what you're ready to take action on. And this is a very close bond. It's deep relationships, right? And these relationships do not look like one another. This can be a love, right? Between opposites, right? It can be, you don't look like me, I don't look like you, but we sure do fit together. Even when, like these little birds, they're kind of looking away. So this little bird may be over here doing this thing, paying attention to this, working on this, singing this tune. This little bird's over here paying attention to this, singing his little tune. But that connection at the heart.
That's very profound. I won't blab about why, but if in a decoding fashion,
Mhm.
I'm still like shocked at how you're channeling that info, because it's almost like I don't even know what to say about it. It's you're right on. I never would have pulled any of that from any of this,
Okay.
but wow.
That's why I've been working on like a cipher, right? I really think, because it's like, I had a question about a direction, and spirit hit me with this. And I'm like, okay, well, this is great if it works for me, but it came to me during the Zoom that we had. So it's not just for me. It's like spirit coming in and saying, let's talk about direction. Let's help one another find direction in this experience, because everything is changing. I mean, Pamela, your heart, this is change. This is movement. It's not stale, it's not stagnant, it's not, like the sun lit on a glassy body of water, right? It's moving. It's electric in there. There's life there. And we're all feeling this energy coming in. And with all of the changes that are taking place around us, whether it be through work or governments or schools or relationships or homes or whatever it is, right? It can leave people feeling a bit like, wow, where is my center? Where is my north? What do I even do right now? What am I ready to act on? And this is like the soul coming in and saying, let me help you build a map. But first, I want to show you how you naturally have, without knowing where to put everything, your soul naturally knows, and you, through your hands, have gone with your soul's flow. So it's like the soul wanted us to see how naturally we respond to its guidance system without possibly even being consciously aware of it at times, right? Once we see how naturally we do already flow with this, now let me give you the blueprint. Like, now let me give you a little cipher that you can go in and you can say, okay, this square represents, north, and it represents air, right? And it represents my third eye, right? But it represents so much more. That top square, you're looking at, where did I put, oh, I got to do it over here. North, that's your awareness. Really. Also, and then we have, so it's our third eye, it's our awareness, it's air. Let me see what else we have. Where is it? Yeah. Okay, I got it. Yeah. You'll see when I give you guys these little ciphers, you'll be going back and forth between them. Because even now I haven't done enough of them to really remember it. But north, that's also awareness, right? And if we look at that, it's like your awareness is beginning to take some sort of form. What you know intuitively and emotionally, right, is beginning to take form here. And how do you express that? And how do you communicate that? Right? It's really beautiful. This is beautiful. They are all beautiful. They really are. Do you have any questions about it, Pamela?
No, I have to absorb. and so, but I like, again, 100% there. And I resonate with what you say. It's amazing that you put it all together like that. It was such a random thing that I thought from like looking at the others who have submitted theirs prior to me. I was like, wow, I'm not doing the assignment correctly. And for what actually, this kind of goes in with what you're saying. I finally said, I don't care. I can't anymore. I can't, I just want to be, I'm releasing the gas from the overpressure cooker, kind of thing, I guess, air, there's the air.
Yes.
But yeah.
And you can, it just doesn't look like everybody else.
Yeah. It's like a freedom. It's, you know what it is? You know what it is, Sybil?
Mm-hmm.
I think this is what you're saying. And this is what my direction. I'm honoring, and this is from being here for so many weeks, right? I'm honoring who I am,
Yes.
honestly,
Yes.
and that is it. And it doesn't, and I don't, I don't even care if the world's falling down anymore. I'll grab my shovel and dig my garden, and I'll have a bunch of paints or dirt in the ground, and I'll just express myself in art, because I know that I feel things when I look at, there's something of spirit that comes through visuals for me, and I know there's others that feel the same. And even older people, you give them something to draw with, and all of a sudden it literally taps into a thing in them that they've lost. And that's why children
Yeah.
have just that's why Paula's things I commented, they're very narrative, and they remind me like they could be in a children's book, because they flow, and like you look at it and they're cohesive in nature in that piece of
Yes.
paper. And you feel like, if I was a child, and we're all children in a way, but I would be like, oh, I feel good because I'm looking at this comforting page of these beautiful, like, flowing drawings that are, I don't know, they're calming, but they're
They are.
expressive too, like a
Yes.
kid. And so that's what I saw with Paula's, and I didn't really see Iris's too much, but yeah. And as far as Bigfoot, I mean, that's like, I already said what I had to about Bigfoot with his connection and stuff to the other layers. But yeah, I think you're 100% on, and everything you just said is exactly where I'm at, and it's beyond brilliant.
Yeah. Well, I thank you. Really. I'm gonna stop sharing this now. I think I told you what I wrote down for yours was I live from my heart by allowing, right, feeling to move through me, to flow through me, right? That's a safe place for you, I feel. But I'll go ahead and stop sharing this because we are getting there on our 2 hours. But Teresa, I wanted to give you a moment to speak about your picture also. How are you doing over there? Teresa got a big dose of Sybil because she was really the first one that got me her picture. She got me her picture before Peter. So Teresa kind of got the book part of it. Anyway, it was like,
I was blown away. So, yeah. And like I always say, but I really mean, I learned something from everybody by this. And I wasn't expecting what Sybil told me. And I too was in tears way before she finished. I was like, girl, you got me crying over here. It was just this, it's hard to believe that she came up with all that. Just, and I am the worst artist of it all. Yes, I'm the stick girl that you're like, what in the world is this? That's my picture. I do good to write my name, let alone draw a picture.
you
And
did great.
thank you, but I was in tears, and it was so wonderfully, I mean, surprisingly. Oh, I just can't put into words without start crying myself. I, I enjoyed this day, seeing everybody turn out so awesome too. And it's just, I know we are all divinely connected and we are all powerful people.
Yes.
And yes, I knew so many of us, that were such powerful people. And I'm so glad to be a part of this group. It's the highlight of my life. Just to be honest, sure, I've got friends and I got family, but I like this the best. To be honest about it. It's just super. I mean, there's things we learn from each other each and every time. And it's just wonderful. This was the most fun I've had out of our homework yet because it was so uplifting. It was so empowering. It was just wonderful. I love you too, Pamela. I really do. And by the way, I thought yours was amazing. You would be selling your art, girl. All of you should. And Iris, girl, what you flipped bird for? I went to jail for that one time. And Bigfoot, son, I knew you had the power the day I heard your voice. Just hang in there. Just hang in there, buddy. You got everything you need. You got a heart bigger than Texas and a brain to go with it. Just use it. Thank you, Sybil, for giving me a minute. I appreciate it. I'll leave you alone now.
I love you, Teresa. I do, and you are so right. You're our greatest cheerleader. You really are. I love your energy. Before we go though, while I was sitting in here, I was having to test my camera. I moved my camera around for readings, and I just pulled some cards, right? And when Paula came in, Paula, you're right on, right in line, divine timing. I really believe that, because before I even sent the Zoom link out, I was testing these cameras, and 2 cards fell out. Don't get shocked by the image on this, but I think you're going to get it right. This came out, right? Oh, where am I? All right. This is cleansing. This is spirit coming in and cleansing any toxicities, right? Any substances, any poisons, any toxins, anything like that. Like when I use these cards to test, like I just pulled them, right? And put them down to see if they would show up on my camera, and I never picked them up. And then when we started and you came in with the cleanse, I was looking over here like, okay, that was meant to be. Like you're doing this in divine timing. I really feel like that. The other card that I had pulled to put in front of the camera was the bee spirit. Sweet results await. That was one of them. So I felt like if that had a message, right? Those two, that cleansing, that toxic cleansing, right? Then this is like spirit saying sweet results await. Like your hard work, your efforts, everything that you're pulling through is going to be worth it. And I don't think that's just for Paula. I feel it like that's really a message for all of us, because when I was shuffling, 2 of the cards that came out is the seahorse spirit, watch and wait. Sweet results are coming. And we have the elephant spirit, learning from the past, right? But I really want to read the bee spirit because I feel like it's all kind of coming in synchronistically. So, and bee spirit, that's number 7. So let's see what they had from bee spirit. It says the bee spirit's message is that sweet rewards are on their way if you are willing to get your ego out of the way and immerse yourself in the connected energy of all things. Bee spirit knows not to let a sense of being, wait a minute. Why am I having a hard time seeing sometimes? It doesn't happen all the time, but it happens. So bee spirit knows not to let a sense of being separate self, being a separate self, get in the way of a good thing. Spirit is always producing honey, miracles, and magic are everywhere. When you connect with the great hive, you are vibrating and buzzing in exquisite harmony with all. I really think you all are, in ways that you probably didn't even recognize or didn't even know. But every one of those pictures, there is such a flow, and it's like there's no shadow. There's really no, I could go in and try to find what the shadow would be in a lot of those pictures, right? But there's really not a lot of shadow. So everyone here has really done a, a lot of work, a lot of inner work. It's very impressive. B Spirit asks that your focus be on connectivity. Your body, heart, soul, and psyche experience total interconnectedness and a true integration when you self forget. Pamela, that north. I don't know. When you remember that you are part of a greater unified consciousness, moving from separation into connection, from self-centered limitation to spirit-centered infinite possibility and potential, you become busy as a bee, enjoying the gifts of bee spirit, fully in alignment with your highest expression of yourself. Your heart opens and creativity rushes through you seemingly without effort as you experience that nothing feels like work. Industriousness is driven by enthusiasm and inner motivation, and time seems to fly by quickly as the hive supports you in the making of honey. Do you feel the presence of your helpers and the hidden realms adding their energy to your creations? Magical results are taking form and will be sweeter than you expect. Bee Spirit wants you to remember that your part in the divine partnership with the conscious universe is being rewarded, even if you can't see that yet, and ask that you share your good fortune, as there is plenty of honey for all. Be a part of the larger whole, the force that brings forth all that is sweet and delightful. I want to cry. All the way to the little being. I want to cry. You guys are amazing. I love you. This is my favorite time. I look forward to these meetings. I really do. This is an amazing group that we have here. And really, it's an honor to be here with all of you. When I saw these pictures and the feelings that I got through them, this is joy coming through, Sybil. This is gratitude. It can get quite teary-eyed. But I thought, my God, I don't know. I don't know.
I just want to say something quickly. Living with Sybil so long, I've changed my thoughts about a lot of things. I've learned that there are more things sometimes than meet the eye in different situations and in different conversations. And I had this little thought, Pamela, you said something about releasing the stress as if it was a pressure cooker. When we were kids, my mother had this old pressure cooker, and on top, the very center of the top, was a little thing, a valve. And here you could release the pressure. It would hiss periodically anyway, but we were not allowed to touch it. But we discovered if we jumped up and down on the floor, it would jiggle it enough so it would blow its top, like it would let off pressure. And I think about that now, and maybe it was, you know, we would jump up and down because it was fun to make that happen, like we were jumping for joy. So it not only relieved the stress, but it also made us happy. So it's just a matter of looking at things a different way, and that caught my attention. And Paula, if you're still here, I drew an elephant too, but your elephant puts mine to shame. Great job, girl. That's all I have. Thank you.
I love you, Peter. Thank you. Thank you so much. Every one of you is really a gift. Iris, thank you for jumping in too while I was talking. That's some really good insight on Bigfoot's picture there with the ability to handle things, right? That's coming out of that North Star and coming into form, right? That's really great insight. Thank you for offering that up to him too. I just wanted to let you know I saw that. Let me see if I have anybody else. I love you guys. You know I do. And Peter, Paula says she is here, and she does. She loves those elephants. So anybody have anything else before we wrap up today and get going? No?
I just want to say I love all of you, and I get so much out of these, and I really look forward to every single one of them too. And just I don't know, just everything about them and everybody here. So I just want to say that.
Thank you. We love you too, Bigfoot.
I'll ditto that. My God, like in so many ways. We all feel the same, I think, and words are hard. Although Iris could put it all in words very well. That's her flower drawings. You know what I mean? Boy, she can encapsulate it. But boy, Sybil, what? Thank you. You've done. I mean, who would have thought? Like this would, like you say, Teresa. Here we are. It's kind of like magic. So, thank you.
I love you guys. And I'll drop screenshots of the ciphers. I think there's 2 or 3 of them that I have. So you'll just, I would drop them all at one time, but I really want you guys to kind of start to integrate and feel, because they're aligned with the chakras, they're aligned with planets, they're aligned so I figured if we start with the direction, because that was the most important thing for spirit, was that they just really wanted to kind of, I feel like, come in and support us and let us all know that yes, you are going in the right direction, and to kind of give us a way of finding that answer, right? From within ourselves, because when we find it within ourselves, there's no doubt later on, well, was that person right? Was that really for me? Was that, when you can come up with these things yourself, you know that you know that you know, you don't need validation from anybody else. Confirmation is always nice, but it's not necessary. Paula says, I love you all. What a privilege to be with all of you. Iris says, love you all. Like the bee gathers pollen as he goes flower to flower, the highest vibration from this meeting today are indeed connecting us all. I love you, Iris. You're right. She's got the words, right? She really does. That's such a beautiful, beautiful thing too. And someone so young. It's very impressive. So I'm not going to stay on here. I will drop those things, like I said, one at a time, give you some time to kind of integrate them. but I will let you all go. You're great too, Iris. We love you. All right, let me stop my recording.